There's another one you don't want to hear. Frankly, neither do I.
1, 2, 3, set, go!
Hello and welcome to episode 24 of the Power Chord Hour podcast. As always, I'm your host Anthony Merchant, welcoming you to yet another episode of the show. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of the podcast as well. I have fun doing this, but I mean, if no one else was listening, I'd just be a crazy ass sitting here talking into a microphone by myself. So thank you for justifying all of this for me. And if you've not checked it out yet, if you're not following us on social media, I just got these really rad stickers in the mail. I've been waiting for them for a while, but I got a ton of Power Chord Hour stickers just made. And these things look sick, and I cannot believe how many people have already hit me up for them. I mean, throughout the years, I've had a few different things. You know, we have some pins, I've had t-shirts, guitar picks, and stuff made. Nothing, people seem to like stickers the most. I cannot believe how fast these things are moving. And I'm really stoked. They're absolutely free, but just thought I would bring that up real quick. If you're not following us on there, you may not have seen it, but I got these brand new stickers. They look sick. I would love to send you a free sticker. Hit me up, powerchordhour@gmail.com. But that's all I really have to promote in this episode. So we're gonna get into it here. This week I talked to my buddy David of 19 Cent Zine, a cool little online blog with a great little Facebook page. And me and Dave have been buddies now for like 3 years. We get into it, but we just kind of met from a mutual love of the Descendents. And we kind of met each other for a second at the Detroit show with the Descendents back in 2017. It was Descendents, the Suicide Machines, and Radkey. Amazing show at the Fillmore. Amazing venue. I know they have Fillmores all over the country, but I think this was one of the originals. Someone explained this to me one day because I didn't realize there was more than one Fillmore. Because I'd always heard of like one Fillmore. I didn't know they were like, eventually it became, I think like Live Nation bought it and, just started calling them Fillmore. I know right before I moved away from Minneapolis, they were just opening the Fillmore there, which I was out before they had a show. I don't know what the venue's like, but I know they like built one where like when I thought of the Fillmore, I thought like this old historic theater, but apparently they'll go around and just erect a brand new building and slap the Fillmore on it. So I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, but the one in Detroit is very cool. If that's the original Fillmore or not, I think it is, but I'm not 100% sure. But amazing venue either way. And that's where me and David first met. We just kind of said hi for a second, and I had to get going because I was going to see the Descendents the next night in Milwaukee. But me and him regrouped later on that year when we saw the Descendents in Cleveland. And really cool guy. We enjoy talking about stuff. He's been doing just music related shit now for years. I mean, back since the '90s, and we get into that, and just really talk a lot of music in this one. Originally, we were supposed to a few months ago, basically do this, and we had more of like a concept and a topic, and we just could not get things to work. And then over the weekend, first we were trying to do a Facebook Live, which boy. I don't know if it was just us or if it's just that I'm gonna say it's probably just us, but it took a good hour and a half to figure out how to get someone on the other screen or like a dual like pull him on and have two people talking at once on live. And we figured that out on Instagram Live, but we could never figure it out on Facebook. We tried for like an hour and a half. I looked like a dummy. I just kept going live. If you follow our Facebook page, you might have even seen it because I went live on there like 4 times for like 30 seconds each time. But actually, there was like one that was pretty long, I think, where I just sat there staring into my phone, just like saying like, if you're watching this, like, can you help? Like, please help me. Someone help me. And then like I would be like, I'd be messaging David on a Facebook Messenger, like, dude, like, do you see this? Like, hey, comment on this. I think I can pull you in if I do this. And I'm just still live, so I'm just like people are just looking at me look at my phone with a blank stare. My mouth is probably open, just like reading something and then texting something, and it's like, all right, I need to end this. I don't think this is quality content here. So I'm like, oh fuck it, man. And then we just kind of last minute. I think it was Dave who said it, like, well, maybe Instagram Live, or he mentioned it for something else, and I'm like, wait, why don't we try that? And it ended up working. So this is just kind of a free flowing conversation. Like I said, we had more of a topic to begin with, but I thought this was interesting enough to put out because we just got into kind of like him knowing and becoming friends with the Smoking Popes, and some of his beginnings in music, and us just talking about some amazing festivals and amazing lineups, and just some really good stuff. But if you like our conversation and you want to follow David, go check out his 19 Cent Zine on Facebook. And just a good dude to talk music with, and I'm sure he would love to talk to you as well. So hit him up. But yeah, that is going to be this week's episode. We're going to get right into it now. And yeah, like I said, new free Power Chord Hour stickers. These things look badass, and I have tons of them. I want to mail you some. I've already mailed them all over. Even sent some to Australia, and we've sent them all over the United States. But no matter where you're at, hit me up. I would love to keep sending them internationally as well as all over the country here. I love traveling. The last 4 years, I've been to every state in the lower 48 except for Vermont. That is the last one I need to hit, and I went to Hawaii a few years ago. So as far as the states go, now I just got to hit up Alaska and Vermont, and for good measure, got to throw in Puerto Rico too. Got to go check that out. And yeah, I love to travel, so I always get a kick out of mailing them different places and stuff. So hit me up, powerchordhour@gmail.com. Let me know where you're at. I will send you out some stickers, and go put them on cool shit. Like go. I'm not telling you to go put it somewhere it's gonna like get you in trouble or anything like that. But I mean, go put that shit on something cool. Go represent the Power Chord Hour at cool places, or if you want, even just on your guitar case or your amp or something. That's also cool. But I mean, hit me up if you just put it in some. I don't know. Get creative and let me know where you end up putting them. And also follow us at Power Chord Hour on all social media: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. At least all our social media. I'm not on like Snapchat or TikTok or any of that. Even at 27, I feel I just don't understand those. But I've never understood, to be honest, Snapchat. I've tried on and off for, I mean, years now since it came out. And I mean, even I was probably like 2021 when it came out. Even then, I'm like, this thing's just fucking dumb. So, you're not gonna find us probably on Snapchat or TikTok anytime soon. But yeah, if you are on Insta, Facebook, Twitter, follow us at Power Chord Hour, and hit me up, powerchordour@gmail.com. Check out the radio show every Friday night at 10 Eastern on 107.9 WRFA, and listen online at WRFALP.com. And that is it. Now, here's my conversation with my buddy David right here on the Power Chord Hour podcast. We're live.
It really worked.
This
Typical
works.
prototype joined. Typical prototype. You are a first fan, my first favorite fan right now, because all I did was hit one button and this worked.
Oh, so we do. Okay, so there's even people. Okay, so if people are watching this, that means we're actually live finally. It only took
It
only took 2 hours.
3 months.
Yeah, 3
No,
months.
it took 3 months. We started in March.
Damn. Yeah. Okay. So this works. We've been trying to Facebook Live this, and it ain't working. So now we're Instagramming it. We're Instagram Live in it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
Oh.
Instagram Live is. Hey, typical prototype. Do you know typical prototype, or is it just a fan, just a friend?
Oh, hey. Yeah. She follows the Power Chord Hour the account. Trying to think of the word, the account.
Nope.
Yeah. No, thanks
Cool.
for checking it out.
I even like the resolution here. I even like the resolution better here than I do Facebook.
Oh, is it clear?
I think it's clear, but maybe it's just the cell phone. And so typical prototype's a fan of your music. And so on your end, Anthony, can you record stuff?
Yeah, I think so.
because I was going to play the Smoking Popes. That was my yeah. I didn't know if you could record. That was my goal, is to play an obscure Popes record.
I mean, play some Smoking Popes. I'm not against that. I'm never going to tell you
Yeah,
not to play the Smoking Popes.
I bought this when they opened for the Descendents in Cincinnati.
Ooh, that was after we saw them, right? That would have been, you saw them like a year or two ago there?
Yeah, we saw them. We saw the Descendants in
after.
Detroit. Yeah, we saw them in Detroit, and then we saw them in Cleveland. And then the Popes opened for them in Cincinnati. You had moved to Minneapolis then.
That's what I was saying. When was the when was the Columbus one? That's what I was trying to ask. Because I was going to say, the Popes didn't open ours. We got Suicide Machines, that Detroit show. That was pretty good. And then Cleveland wasn't as good. The openers weren't as good in Cleveland. I don't remember who it was, but I remember we had more fun not listening to the opener.
Cleveland had the guy from Chemical Romance. Remember they came out as like white aliens?
Oh, I can't remember the name. It was, and you know what? I saw him open for Against Me a few years before that. I can't remember their name. Yeah, I don't know if he's still out there band again. Wu-Tang.
I was gonna play some Wu-Tang. Andy would have loved that.
Some Wu-Tang, some Smoking Popes. I'm liking it.
Yeah. Now I don't know.
Sorry, go ahead, dude. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you. I cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. No, I was gonna say, were those two out of the three songs? I know originally we were gonna like talk three songs. One was Wu-Tang and one were the Popes.
I was gonna do the Popes. I had an obscure Beastie Boys song that doesn't even sound like the Beastie Boys.
Is that like when they were still a hardcore band?
No, it was like the last song MCA wrote, and he was hanging out with Sean Lennon a lot. So it's kind of like a bum 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 bum. It's like just a really weird, like a Japanese pop song, it's one of my favorite songs, and it's so cute and sad about no one knows the answers other than love, and it's like the heart of the Beastie Boys about compassion and empathy. And it sounds almost like I don't know, like I should play it. Yeah, I played it on my other feed before you went live because I still had 20 minutes to go. But Josh has been popping up on a lot of my feeds from the Smoking Popes, and I just thought, well, I'm gonna play a Pope song. They're indie and they're friends of mine. I don't care about copyright for that stuff because I know those guys. Anyway, blah, 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 blah.
No, that stuff's interesting. You should, I mean, we're recording this stuff. Like, I mean, I think that's so interesting that you know those dudes, you know, and you've been listening to them too since like back in the day, right? I mean, I caught on, like, I've been listening to Pope since like 2011. I think you have me beat quite a bit on that.
I moved to Columbus in '91, and I met a kid named Ken Caterer, who was a freshman in high school. I was a sophomore, and I came over to his house one day, and we were talking music. He had a bass, and he goes, "Yeah, my cousins are in a band," and I'm like, "Cousins?" And Josh Caterer, Josh, Eli, and Matt, and Ben was his brother, and he had every Smoking Popes on 7-inch. He said, "Yeah, these are my cousins. They're coming to town next week." And they were coming to town for a family reunion. So I met the Popes by a family reunion and just fell in love. Just fell in love with a cassette recording. And then sadly, we lost their uncle. Ken's dad passed away. And so then the Popes came back. And by this time, we had booked them in Toledo with Pansy Division.
Nice.
So we saw the Popes open for Pansy Division, who then went on to open for Green Day. And then Pansy Division loved the Popes, Green Day loved the Popes, and then by '92, the Popes were opening for Green Day, and Jimmy Eat World was opening for the Popes. And then by '93, '94, '95, the Green Day Dookie revolution exploded, and the Popes had got signed. There was everybody was getting signed. Some band called Nirvana exploded, and it just was chaos in the 90s, and it was fun. And the Popes I got to just jam with them. I was learning how to play guitar by Josh teaching me how to play um, Long Day. I think it was called, not Long Day. It's been a long day. I don't know. It's an old Pope song. And so, yeah, I became a hardcore fan. And then we went to Chicago to go see them play the Metro for spring break. And we stayed at Josh's, and I think Josh and Eli were living together, and we just kind of camped out on their floor and just strummed guitars and smoked cigarettes all night. And we were leaving that Sunday, and it was like 10:30 in the morning, and Eli comes out and he bangs on the glass, and we're packing the car. My brother's asleep in the back seat smoking a bowl, and Kenny's checking the oil, and he's like, "We're getting ready to leave," and he's like, "Kurt Cobain's dead." We're like, "Whoa, wow." So we drove home from Chicago, just saw the Popes the night before play a sold-out Metro show, and yeah, Kurt Cobain had died. I heard that from Eli.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
That's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, yeah.
That is insane. I forget how long really Smoking Popes have been a band too. Like I forget that. I mean, they've basically been a band as long as I've been alive.
Oh, wow.
I think we've been. I mean, what year did they start? What did that been? I mean, you're saying early 90s. I was born 92.
I moved to Columbus in 91.
Oh,
so by 90,
okay.
yeah, they were originally called like Speed Stick. And then they did some Smoking Pope stuff, and I through my divorce I had a couple rare 7-inch Popes albums, but I've always I just always so fortunate to see them. And then when I started going into the music business, as I went into growing independent bands and artists, they were on the Dinosaur Jr. bill, and by this time I was at the big local rock club here in Columbus, and they opened for Dinosaur Jr., and I was just so excited. Like, I mean, I put flyers everywhere for the Popes, and Dinosaur Jr. just had these mammoth AC/DC stacks of Marshalls. And
I saw them a few years ago at Riot Fest. Same thing, just an ungodly amount of amps. I don't know if they were dummy cabs or not. Actually, I don't think they were dummy cabs because it was loud. I remember I had nice earplugs in, and I took them out from it, and I'm going, how the hell is anyone listening to this right now without these? Like, everyone's eardrums are just going to blow.
Yeah. To this day, I still hurt. And so I was just so proud of the Popes, man. And then when they disbanded, I mean, we all have things we go through, and then I think they're bigger now than they ever were before.
They deserve it too. I mean, his voice. Who else in the scene? Like, you know, like punk rock bands. Like, who sings like that? Who has a voice like that? Nobody sounds like that.
Nobody sounds like him. Yeah.
There's not one, and including in a genre like that where it's like there's tons of bands that sound alike. You know what I mean? Where it's like you can mistake them. There's really no mistaking Smoking Popes. You're a Smoking Pope song. It's like, no, that's them. There's really no mistaking them for anyone else at all.
I agree with that. And it was really cool to see them during this quarantine play the Riot Fest. They were one of the first bands with your friends Jawbreaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. I think they did a solo. Like, they did this. Josh and I don't know his name. Save my life, because Jawbreaker is like on my to-do list. Yeah, like on my. Or maybe it's the Ataris. Chicago band. They're both Chicago bands.
Oh, okay. Then no, wouldn't it be Jawbreakers from California or San Francisco?
Maybe it was the Ataris.
Would it be like Naked Ray Gun or something? Was it like a band from like the same era? Like an older like punk band?
It was the Riot Fest has been kicking off these weekend acoustic series, and Josh and him did a back and forth. I told you that I saw Jimmy Fallon and Chuck D do this, and this is what I wanted you and I to do on Facebook. And We couldn't do it.
Well,
We
I didn't
couldn't.
tell you this, but actually Chuck D is about to join us on here. So you didn't know this, but Smoking Popes is one of Chuck D's favorite actually not even favorite bands. I asked him who's your favorite specifically Asian Man Records band, and he's like, oh, Smoking Popes.
Smoking Popes, yeah.
Yeah, Smoking Popes with Skank and
Smoking
Pickle,
Popes.
obviously second, like just a little before Skank and Pickle, Smoking Popes, Chuck D's favorite Asian man band. Easily. Yeah,
Easily.
yeah, easily. Now,
I couldn't
Flavor
believe.
Flav, he does not. Flavor Flav's more. Including when it comes to Chicago, he's a naked ray gun guy. Chuck
I've
Smoking Popes.
and even older. I know he likes the Jesus Lizard and
Oh,
and
nice.
Kanye West of Chicago fame.
Very nice. Very nice.
Let's name drop everyone we know.
Just name drop everyone who's come. Yeah, it's insane the cameos that we're gonna have on this Instagram live.
Yeah.
What is it? It's almost midnight on a Saturday night. They're all calling in. It's
They're
gonna
all
be
calling.
insane.
Yeah,
It's all gonna
typical
be.
prototype. You just gotta wait for Jimmy Fallon. He'll be honest with you.
I haven't talked to Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if he's. I don't know if Jimmy Fallon's calling in.
Let me text. Oh, I can't text him because I'm on my phone.
Yeah, we're on here. That's the only reason. It's the only
Let me
reason.
get Andy. Let me take Andy's message. She'll get him.
Get her on here. Yeah, I mean anyone who ends up watching or listening to this took a long time to work. We've been trying this shit out all night.
For 3 months.
I look like a dumbass. How many times did I go on Facebook Live tonight with just my mouth just sitting there looking at that while I look at my screen, going, how do I add someone to this?
So how do you know typical prototype? Tell me, we got a fan. You got somebody that admires your work or listens to your podcasts.
Oh, I think I mean she follows the Power Chord Hour page. I think she's a listener. I do not know her personally. I do know.
Oh.
I'm not sure if I've asked, but if you are listening to this, if your name is a reference to Say Anything, I've been trying to figure that out. Is that a reference to the song Admit It? Because if it is, thumbs up. Even if it's not, thumbs up. But I like it if that's a Say Anything reference. But
I love how we met too, dude. I mean, you the Descendents show in Detroit.
yes, that was our first. Yeah, we should talk about that. I mean, we like met on Facebook for a second, and we knew. Okay, yes, that I've been meaning to ask that. That is a really good name.
I'm really proud of that poster. Does it come in?
Oh, is that yeah, the Fillmore. Yeah, that was our show. Descendents, the Suicide Machines, and Radkey. That was a good. Oh man, that was a good show. Were you there? Were you there early enough? Did you catch Radkey? They are one of the greatest live bands out there right now.
Yeah, I caught them also. I think they were on the Cleveland show.
No, No, I don't think they did play. I don't know if they played the Cleveland one. They played the next night when I saw them. Because after I saw them with you, then I went and saw the Descendents again the next night in Milwaukee, and they opened that one, as well as the Pukes were. But they didn't. No, they definitely didn't open. I don't think they opened Cleveland. You have me second guessing my own mind now, but I'm pretty sure they did it.
Yeah, or it was like the Cop Shoot Cop. It was or Good Cop Bad Cop.
Good Cop. You know what? Yeah, I think they were playing shows in them, so it's probably Good Cop Bad Cop.
Yeah, and they're getting rave reviews. So your friend said no doubt.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, to the sorry, as I'm getting real close here, scrolling through these comments. Okay, so it is a reference to Admit It. That is my favorite Say Anything songs. That is a very good username. Typical prototype. You listen to any Say Anything, Dave, or no? You ever listen to them?
Not enough. I know of them. I know one of their big songs. Because so in 2000, I don't like to call it emo music, but there was this new wave of Fall Out Boy stuff, and Say Anything, Rise Against, Say Anything. That's not. Oh, I got to think of the "Say Anything" song. I
Oh wait,
know.
actually, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. It is a reference to No Doubt, not Say Anything. So I take that back. I was actually wrong. But No Doubt rules too, so that is also a good one. And I wish I had it right now. I still have a No Doubt beanie that my parents got me when they went and saw No Doubt when I was like 3. And I still have the beanie, but it does not fit my head anymore, and I look ridiculous every time I put it on. But it's this great. You can tell it's from the early '90s. It's just like this real tight green beanie with just that old No Doubt, like the original No Doubt logo on it. Very ska like. I
When I
love
was
it. I gotta find it, but it does not fit my head. But I do definitely still have it.
So my friend Jude just joined us, and or he might have left already. But then they digged, and but I saw No Doubt with 311 and Cypress Hill at the club I worked. The Newport Music Hall is one of the oldest clubs in America. Bowie's played there, Queen has played there, and it's kind of like the Minneapolis Seventh Avenue. It's in that
Oh,
legendary.
First Avenue, Seventh Street entry like that.
Yeah, the Newport is just a little bit bigger than those places. It's the old Agora, Bill Graham Agora themed clubs that are across the country. Um, but I had the opportunity to intern. Black Sabbath and Motorhead was my first concert there.
Damn.
I didn't get paid a dime. It was worth it. I had to be there at like 5 a.m. I worked until 2 a.m. I got to meet Lemmy. I got to meet Ronnie James Dio was doing the Sabbath stuff,
That's what I was gonna
and
ask. Who was singing at that point? If it was
yeah,
Dio or Ozzy?
Yeah, Ronnie James, and it was just amazing. That was 1995, July 3rd, um, Ohio State campus, and I just the pager back in the day of pagers, the booking agent was like, "Hey, your band just won the Battle of the Bands." Kenny from his cousins of the Smoking Popes, we had done the Battle of the Bands. I got to promote a lot of his music, and we were runners up in the Battle of the Bands. We made it to the finals, and he goes, "Dude, you packed the club." He's like, "How about you try interning?" And one of those shows was No Doubt with 311 when tickets were cheap. Yeah, those tickets were like $20.
Yeah, you
Cypress
cannot see
Hill.
any of them for $20 now. And if you
Mm-mm.
do, you're sitting in the shittiest like part of a lawn at an
Yeah,
arena. If you
and
can get them for 20.
Spider or the Spider Web song had just come out by No Doubt.
Oh, so this is like Tragic Kingdom era. You
Oh
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
thought.
That
Okay, so
album
that's like right as they're blowing up.
Yeah, that same year we had Sublime at the Newport.
Wait,
We
actually,
had
so this would be like 95. I'm sorry, like 95, 96. Oh, that's
yeah,
like right when that's when my parents would have went and saw it. It was probably not the same show, but it was probably like the same tour that they got that hat for me at.
probably,
I mean, that'd be about
probably,
the same. If I
probably.
was like 3, if I'm doing the math, it'd be like 95, 96. They would have saw him.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Tragic Kingdom tour.
yeah. So you were born in what year were you born?
92. I was born in 92.
92. Wow, that's when I went to my first Lollapalooza.
Oh shit, nice.
So I had just moved here, and we missed Lollapalooza '91. I still lived in my old hometown of Lima, which is 2 hours outside of Columbus. And in '92, my buddy Steve had worked. He worked at a record store for like pennies. Like he's like, just pay me minimum wage, and so he worked mainly on Saturdays, and he scored 2 Lollapalooza tickets, and we got to see Rage Against the Machine on the side stage,
Oh
and
shit.
yeah, the Breeders were on the side stage that year, and that was just nuts. Just Indianapolis was nuts, and then fast forward toward the end of summer. So we started off the tour in Indianapolis. So it must have been like Chicago and Pittsburgh. And then they came back one more time through Columbus. And then I saw Tool on the side stage of the Columbus Festival. Rage had finally moved up to the big level, and Fishbone was on the bill.
Nice.
Yeah. Jim Rhodes Side Circus was on the stage. So that was cool times, man. I'm lucky.
That's insane. Yeah, those are like, I mean, some of those lineups, you talk about them now, it's like they're just mind blowing. Which at the time,
Yeah.
probably you don't think anything of it. It's like, yeah, it's just Lollapalooza '91. You know what I mean? It's like it's just this year's lineup. You know. I wonder what they'll be now. I feel like there's probably ones now. Like I guess you don't realize them when you're seeing them at the time. Like I wonder ones like current day ones. I'm sure there's like certain years of Riot Fest where like one day we'll look back and go, holy shit! Like how did that happen? I think
Yeah.
Riot Fest, it was like, I didn't get to go to it. I want to say Riot Fest 2013, if I'm remembering correctly, is one of those lineups where to this day I'll still look at like the list of the bands around it. I'm just like, I love every single band. It's like, it's insane. And I mean, the Replacements are my all-time favorite band. And that was where they reunited. So they, you know, like they did that Riot Fest. I mean, just a bunch. I mean, I think the Popes were on it. I mean, the Lawrence aren't any of the like Chicago punk bands, you know, were on that year. I mean, it was just insane. But I mean, Riot Fest is always good with that. I mean, I think there's probably a few years of Riot Fest where in 10, 15 years we might go, oh my God, like like you had those bands play, you know, or that band played that stage, you know, like that band played you know, the first 200 people who got in at like 11 in the morning, you know, like that kind of thing. Like you're saying, like Rage playing side stage. Like where does it? Like I saw Prophet. Like you got to see Rage on side stage. I got to see Prophets of Rage. Like actually that was at Riot Fest right before Jawbreaker. Prophets of Rage played, and then Jawbreaker played. It was cool, but it wasn't Rage Against the Machine on side stage in the 90s.
On the side stage, just
on the fucking side stage, dude. That is insane.
That's
that
nuts,
right?
The Tool. I mean, like I remember it, but it didn't feel like the album felt. Like the album felt that rage, that raw, just what the fuck is going on in the world, and it had heart and passion, and the audience was into it, but it was the open again, 11:30 in the morning. I don't know. It was maybe 1:30 in the afternoon, and yeah, those were long days, man. $4 bottles of water. Now they're $8 bottles of water.
Oh man, I would talk about that. You know what? Forget the lineup. I long for the days where bottled water was $4 at a festival. That's what we should really be reminiscing. Like I don't remember the last time I saw a bottle of water for $4. Riot Fest is another one of that. The one year I went, 2017, I mean, it was fun, but my God, I just tried not to eat or drink anything all day. I'm like, this is insane. Like,
yeah.
you want a burrito? Okay, $30. You know, just it's like, man, I just don't want to die. Like, I just want some
it's
water.
Just a little
like,
burrito, right?
Some water and a burrito. Yeah, it's a like little ass burrito. It's like, man, I just want to not die for this day. You know? Like that's it. I don't want to go broke fucking spending this. It's insane.
It's
I mean, it's really, and honestly, it's kind of sad because then you look at things too, like I know for a while, like when Warped Tour was still going on, they did like, you know, you could bring in your own bottles and like, you know, refill them and whatnot. But all of that comes from the fact that the year before, I like a kid died of dehydration for those kinds of things. And it's like it had to come to that where it's like, yeah, people come into these and can't afford a $10 bottle of water, and now someone, you know what I mean? Like it's insane. It has to come to that, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of a dark turn, but I just thought of that. It's like, you know, it just kind of goes that it's like, damn, quit gouging people for water. They got blood on your hands, you know?
Right.
But damn, no, festivals are one of those ones where, yeah, I don't think you know what you're seeing when you're seeing it. It's later on. I think you end up figuring that out later.
The last festival I went to would have been the Punk and Drublic Festival with the Descendents again.
Oh, did you see that? You saw that big one, right? When it was like Camp Anarchy a few years ago. It was like
Camp Anarchy. That's what it was. And the guy from No Effects made that comment about the Vegas shooter, and they booted him off the bill. They canceled No Effects. They canceled me first, and so yeah, the Descendents fit the bill, and then Gelo came on stage and they did I can't think what the fuck they played.
They do a Dead Kennedy song?
They did the Dead Kennedy song, yeah.
I assume when you say Jello, you mean Biafra.
Biafra.
Because there's not many other Jellos out there.
Besides me, my last name, man.
Oh, you meant you. Yeah, you forgot to mention when you got on stage and sang a Dead Kennedy song with the Descendents. I forgot when you did that.
Oh my God, dude. I can't believe it took us 3 months to finally do, and Instagram just went live instantly.
Yeah, we should. You know what? Because that is true. Like I'm saying, it only took a couple hours, but we did try to Zoom this a few months back. So yeah, it really has been 3 months. When all of a sudden it's just like, hey man, why don't we try? You brought up Jimmy Fallon and Chuck D. It's like, well, I mean, if it works for them, if it's good enough for Chuck D.
I mean, I've been doing this since 8 p.m. Like I've been trying to clean my room, get all my music in order to play, and
yours looks much nicer. I don't have a. I don't have a.
No, here's the problem.
I got
this
Iron
is
Maiden, dude.
Yeah, this is the true mess. You got mouthwash and vitamins.
Okay, now you make me feel bad. Okay, now you're breaking down the fourth wall, and now I'm not feeling so bad.
It's all perception. But I'm 4 hours into this, man. I have to hydrate. I have to yoga my back. I'm gonna be 24 this year, and I'm so old.
Well, dude, after getting on stage playing Dead Kennedy, I'm sure you're tired. No, man,
I'm exhausted.
This has been fun. We're kind of just bullshitting about music and whatnot. We can close shop and do one of these again sometime soon.
Let's do it. I have another Thursday nights could do really well for me. And then yeah, I want to get a rhythm of doing this, and I want to get a habit of being able to ask other artists as well. Like I've got a lot of there's a local hip hop artist in Columbus that had gone down to the riots, and he wrote a song within 20 minutes, and it's a Kanye West energy song for me, and it just builds up and builds up, and he's just asking why, like why does he have to be, a 19-year-old kid going through this? And so I want to start interviewing people, and I love what you're doing too. I know that you've got such a passion for it, and you know how to keep the conversation going. So I think it'd be good for Power Chord and 19 Cent Zine to just rock the world.
Yeah, everyone go check out some 19 Cent Zine. I guess since this is on the Power Chord Hour Insta, we should say that you do 19 Cent Zine. Do you have an Instagram for it, or are you guys just on Facebook?
No, just on Facebook. I never branched into that. I'm figuring out the logistics of how to help market and promote without just being advertise related. I also want it to be socially minded, to be able to contribute to the community. And that's how I know Andy from the food bank. Her and I, for the last 3 months, have been just single-handedly delivering almost 200 groceries to families all across central Ohio. And she does such great work. And so that's my my social justice side of work.
No, that's cool, and actually that's the part of the interview that people haven't heard was the conversation with Andy before this.
Yeah, and that was the real interview, right? That was a
real interview, and I just want all of you to know, no matter what Andy says, and I know none of you know anything I'm talking about, she wants her husband's records the hell out of her house. I don't care what she says. She wants those fucking things out of there, dude.
You need to
records there.
You need to add her now. You need to go out there and add her now. Like I can't wait to see her next week. So, and I'll see you in a month, but I'll see you within a week. We'll do another one of these.
We will. And before you go, as we close this, I know you had those songs, or you had albums. Did you have 3 specific songs, or no? I mean, I feel like if we have them here, Maybe if people are bored, they can go listen to the songs that we were going to talk about.
Well,
Because I got my shit right here.
when
Actually, I'm not showing you that. I have terrible handwriting. But I was going to pick Pale Blue Eyes by the Velvet Underground.
Ooh.
I had Sweet Avenue from Jets to Brazil, and Meet
I
Me
like
in the
them.
Bathroom by the Strokes. I switched it up because we did that before. We picked those 3 songs the first time we were gonna do this, and then I revamped it all. I'm like, nah, screw it. I'll check. I'll do something else. I didn't get too original though, because before I had Jawbreaker on the last one, and this time I did Jets to Brazil, which is both are Blake's bands. Both of
I
those are
like
Blake.
it. Well, so when Josh did his Riots Fest, I was about one song late, so I didn't hear the opener, and the opener was Simmer Down, and so that's what I was going to play. Is I've got a live Popes, and I'd like to know how it sounds though. So just from an audio point.
Play this shit, man. Let us hear it. Let's hear some Popes. I can hear it. I can tell it's the Smoky Popes. I won't say it's high quality, but I can tell it's the Popes.
I don't want to simmer
We'll work on audio. We'll work on audio. That'll be the next thing we do, because that was pretty loud.
Oh, you could tell it was the Smoky Popes, though. I mean, it didn't. I wouldn't want to listen to that in that sound quality for an hour straight, but I could listen to that for, you know what I mean? Like it didn't sound terrible. I could tell it was the Smoky Popes.
All right, cool. And then I want to work on trying to do more promotions and tags and build up the show, and especially if we did something, even if it's once a week or once a month. We'll work out
that you're trying to do branding.
The letters are reverse. Go back.
Oh wait.
Hold on. Yeah.
This is try reading. I don't know how to say that. I'm not entirely sure. Oh no, I think I lost you. Are you still there?
I wanted to do a screenshot and everything went white.
Screenshot this shit.
Hold on.
I just almost
With the letters,
hold on. I just almost cracked my head open on my bass.
Oh, your humidifier.
No, not my humidifier. I almost cracked my head on my bass.
All right, stop moving your camera. Hold on. Perfect. I'll send that to you. It's backwards.
Oh shit. I've ended up on the floor. I didn't really see this.
Look at my Gorilla Biscuits. My Gorilla Biscuits it's reversed.
It's BG, dude. It's the BG. I love
It's an 8.
BB.
It's an 8 and a 6.
What's your favorite Gorilla Biscuits album? It's a trick question.
Well, I only know the Start
trick
Today.
question because there's only one. Yeah, I was gonna say there's only one.
Okay, I knew they did like an
EP, but that's it.
Yeah. I follow Sip.
Do you like the solo? Do you like Civ solo stuff? You ever check out, or not solo, but the actual band Civ? Have you ever listened to them?
Yeah, they came to the Newport. Like they were opening for like Orange 9mm and like Filter. It was like all 3 of those bands together, and I got to meet them and just tell me
Filter like that Filter.
Yeah, it was like they were the headlining
Take
act.
My picture and like.
Yeah.
And Hey Man, Nice Shot, like oh really?
Yeah, Hey Man, Nice Shot, and Civ.
That's honestly an interesting lineup.
I sat through some really bad shows.
I like Civ. I actually like the band Civ, but I do want to say, now that you bring it up,
JT from Hawthorne Heights, the lead singer, we were talking about Gorilla Biscuits and Civ one day, and he went, their big hit, Can't Wait 1 Minute More. He's like, go listen to the guitar in that. It makes zero fucking sense. And he's right. There's just something about, like, if you try to play it, like, as a musician, it just makes no sense. Like, he's just, like, I can't even do it. It's just going to sound stupid. But if you go listen to it, it just makes no goddamn sense what he's doing. It just makes zero sense at all what he's doing on guitar. It's the oddest sounding thing. And I can never hear that song again after he talks shit on it. And I didn't even talk shit, but, like, you know, like, go listen to the guitar and the ridiculous of it. It's like, I can never, he's ruined that song for me.
I'm gonna go back and play it. So you gotta message Andy. You gotta become Andy's friend now, and then let's try to come back within a week. I've got some screenshots to send you.
Thank you for on the floor.
Yeah, thank you for 3 months and 4 hours of your time.
Oh, it's all good. This was a learning. I feel like we all learned something tonight
about music, capitalism, and technology.
But most importantly, ourselves.
Ourselves.
I feel like this is good enough. This is going up, dude. This is good enough.
All right.
People are gonna enjoy this is this week's episode.
We played one song.
Oh, good. Yo, thanks. Thank you very much, Typical Prototype, for watching this and listening to this. Yeah. And also, I believe I hit you back earlier, but I got some Power Chord Hour stickers sent your way. Thank you very much for the support. And
yeah, man.
Shout out.
Good work. Cool. I'm gonna follow Typical, and thank you, Anthony.
Yeah, give Typical a follow, dude.
I will.
Give Typical proud. I'm getting tongue tied. I'm with you. I think it's time to shut. I think it's time to shut down, dude.
Yeah, I'm done. Good night.
I'm pissed Chuck D never showed up. I'm really.
Yeah, just chill, Fallon. Just chill, Fallon.
Yeah, goddamn Fallon. All right, I think good night, shot, man. Peace.
Peace.